once again, I don't know how to react anymore because I don't know if this is the last time or not. But this one was an interesting one. We gave the Miller Boat Line a call from Bassett's asking if we could go on the 315 rather than the 515. And in fact, I originally reserved on this one, but then thought, well, we'll eat there on the main one, won't we? And then we decided, no, we're not that hungry yet. So we got a few extra provisions, so we're gonna have something here on the island. But they did warn us that the 315 was gonna be full. But we could come and we could sit in standby, which usually means, you know, you just stand there going, bye. But no, we're on. We were the last ones on, and it's a tight squeeze, but we're here and we're ready to go. Yeah, it's definitely crowded around here. It's got to try and get through one place and another to get early in May, but in fact, you know, it is Friday, so it's the beginning of the weekend. Some people are probably coming over to their homes to open them up for the summer season. We'll see how it goes, but at least we're aboard, and that's really all we need at the moment. Oh my goodness, they're actually going to try and squeeze one more person on board, or one more car on board. They're moving into the part where I thought we were going to get parked. Because the guy was, waving like this the whole time. It turned out that I just needed to get closer to the one car. I have no idea how this is going to work out, but it looks like they're not going to hit us, so that's really all that matters. They're squeezing as many people as are willing to get on, I suppose. I'll say right now that the 40-minute ride isn't going to be terribly eventful, and there really isn't much to see in some respects. You could probably pick out FERRY's monument and maybe even the water tower over at Puddin Bay. You might even be able to see South Bass ends, and you can see Middle Bass behind it. But it's kind of hard to tell on the camera when compared to just standing here and looking at it. You can see the... Well, maybe you can't see it. You certainly can't feel it. The ferry's rocking like it does. And it's a fairly calm lake right now for today. But I can see why you wanted to get yourself on a transoceanic cruise ship, because this rocks more than we ever felt on any of our cruises. I hate to tell you though, honey, you're never going to get it on a cruise ship unless you get a really small one. You can see the cliffs here of South Bass. And the Miller Boat Dock over at the southern tip of the island. And then in the distance, over here, our destination, Middle Bass. I stand corrected. It turns out this island over here is probably Rattlesnake Island because of the long stretch there. Middle Bass is way out there in the middle of the shot, barely visible at this point. We're still making our way about halfway around South Bass at this point. But we are now even with the island. Weird. The island looks big enough to actually see and comment upon when I'm looking at it, but as soon as I put the camera on it, it's almost invisible. I think you should be able to see, just vaguely, the water tower and the Lawns building, and even the blue dock where this place is going to pull in. But maybe not. It really looks small in the lens. Meanwhile, from my perspective, you can see not only Middle Bass Island, but Ballast, right to the right of it, in the middle of the screen. But between the two, you can just make out Pele. Meanwhile, on the left, you'll see the spit of land that's the tip of South Bass. And way off in the distance, you should be able to see Middle Island, which we can see from our cabin window every morning. Well, we just missed the horn, and Daniel made sure that he was inside the car for that. But we're finally here, basically. Lon's Winery in the background, and the dock right here. Should be pulling in shortly, and then just making our way to the cottage.